Inherent Vice, 2014 film from director Paul Thomas Anderson, based on a Thomas Pynchon novel, which I have not read. Stars Joaquin Phoenix, Josh Brolin, Owen Wilson, Catherine Waterston, Benicio del Toro, Hong Chow, and quite a few other notable people in various small appearances. It was nominated for 2 Oscars, Adapted Screenplay and Costume Design. This is essentially a classic, convoluted, overcomplicated film noir, but set in sunny Los Angeles of the early 1970s, with a stoned out of his mind private investigator as the main character. At the beginning of the film, Doc, played by Phoenix, as is tradition in film noir, he gets approached by his ex-girlfriend, femme fatale, who asks him to investigate a plot against a real estate mogul that she's been seeing. And soon after she disappears, the mogul disappears, there's a drug cartel connection, there's Aryan Brotherhood connection, there's police involvement, there's FBI asking questions about all this, and other strange characters coming and going into and from the scene with all these weird connections to the case. So I think it's a strange movie, because the 2 key elements of the film noir are usually the plot and the dark, gloomy atmosphere. And here they are both deliberately subverted. Obviously, the dark atmosphere is thrown out the window because of the 1970s Los Angeles setting, and all of the stoner humor involved as well, which made me think of Big Lebowski in more than one instance. And then, as far as the plot is concerned, I have to say, I can't even explain halfway through what it was all about, because at some point I realized that it's so convoluted that, just like the main character, I began to get super confused and decided to maybe try and stop understanding it and instead just vibe with the characters. And I think that as a 70s nostalgia vibe piece, I think the film is alright. The characters and their interactions are fun. There are some really banger lines here and there. The dialogue in general is well written. It's properly funny at times. It has a sort of strangely relaxed atmosphere for the most part, embodied by all the different set design, costumes, hairstyles, etc. Put it like this, it's hard to take the film seriously, but I'd argue maybe it was never meant to be. It's a movie you watch to hang out. And as that, I think it's fine. Although for my money, there are also better movies that do this exact thing and that I personally enjoy more. I thought it was just alright, but I can definitely see some other people loving it or hating it, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with either of those opinions. I think it's really one of those films which will have very varied or had very varied subjective responses to it, as it's kind of hard to judge objectively. Sort of, if you vibe with it, you vibe with it. If not, it's not meant for you, which I guess is as much as I needed to say.